My roommate girlfriend has been secretly wearing my clothes to become a Instagram model. About 2 weeks ago, my roommate Dave, 23, invited his GF Julie, 22, to stay after she was evicted. Dave asked me if she could stay with us till she found a place beforehand, and I agreed. We seemed to get along, and she really didn't bother me, and seemed to stick to the house rules we had, so all was fine. Now, a few days ago, I was staying over at my friend's house, and my friend happens to bump into Julie's Instagram account, and this girl was taking pictures in my room with my clothes, jewelry, shoes, and she even had a couple racy pictures wearing my lingerie. Basically, she did several photo shoots in my room with my clothing and things. Of course, I lost it. But the worst of it all was these pictures where she was standing on my prayer rug, which is highly important to my faith, with her dirty shoes. She knows how important that prayer rug is to me and my faith, and so is well aware of the disrespect and hurt it would cause. So I cut my visit short and went home immediately the next day. I came home to Julie there and told her everything I knew. She immediately started crying and saying that I am overreacting and that I was scaring her with my anger, etc. To be honest, I was shouting, so that could have been scary for her. I told her to get the fuck out and took back my spare key. She grabbed a couple things and left. We agreed that Dave would bring her the rest of her things. An hour later, she comes back and goes around the back and tries to enter through the back door. I happened to be in the kitchen and shouted at her to go away. I warned her several times that I'd call the police if she tried to push in. She kept at it and finally got in, and true to my word, I called the police. The police arrived and asked her several times to just leave, but she kept arguing with them, and the officer got annoyed and arrested her. She spent the night at jail. And as she didn't have her phone on her, she left it in her car. She couldn't contact Dave. When Dave came home from work later that day, he greeted me like normal, and that was not what I expected, so I said, "Have you spoken to Julie?" And he goes, "No." So I told him everything, and this man started yelling at me, telling me I was an a-hole, and took things too far by calling the police. Now I feel like I didn't do anything wrong, but Dave's rant gave me pause. He felt like I should have let him deal with it or something. Did I handle this like an a-hole? I don't feel like I did, but maybe my anger is blinding me to see things differently. Clarification: the officers initially asked her to just leave. They tried talking to her for at least 15 to 30 minutes and explained how they'd rather not arrest her. But she kept shouting and swearing at me and them. Eventually, one of the officers told her that if she didn't leave by the count of 5, he'd arrest her. He then counted to 5, she didn't leave as was requested, and they arrested her. Some extra clarification: when we found her Insta page, it was like 3 a.m., and so obviously I couldn't really drive home that late, and instead got back home at around 9 a.m. By that time, Dave was already at work, and honestly, I kinda had tunnel vision, and he really didn't come into my mind. Also, Dave doesn't have or use Instagram, so I doubt he knew. This all happened in less than 5 days. For those asking, I am black. I am not part of the Muslim faith. Other religions also use prayer rugs. Update 7 hours later. This is an update on my dilemma with Julie and Dave. He truly thought she took one of my kimono robes or something and that I was overreacting. He watched all the recordings, and he called me to profusely apologize for not believing me. He spoke to Julie about the recording and questioned the story she was telling him. After some talking, she basically told him that she was envious of the things I had, and since she was trying to be an Insta influencer, she needed to constantly have new things to post. She also said that she felt like me having luxury expensive lingerie and undergarments was a waste because no one got to see it. And since she couldn't afford lingerie from Brodel, Agent Provocateur, Guyla Bruna, etc., I was being a selfish butt for not sharing, and so she felt like she deserved it more. I keep a fairly private online life and don't feel comfortable posting scantily dressed pictures of myself, nor do I wear it outside. I have no issues with others doing so. I just don't. So she wanted to show my things off to people who would appreciate it online, since I wouldn't and didn't. She took the pictures with them to get more traffic, etc. And apparently it was a hit, since she got more followers, engagement, and was even getting requests for sponsorships for more luxury item sellers on Insta. The craziest part is she was doing this for far longer than the 2 weeks she was living with us. Some of the pictures were taken months ago. Can you imagine my shock that I've basically been sharing undies with her for months? You can't imagine how this is fucking with my mind. Also, her roommates got her evicted for the exact same reason. She was stealing things from them and taking pictures with their things while pretending that she's some jet-setting trust fund kid. I am not rich or even comfortable. I don't come from wealth. I just like certain things and save and skimp for months, years to get the expensive luxury items I have, and I take very good care of my things. Her envy is very confusing to me, since she actually comes from money, not trust fund money, but still money. She still has the pictures up on Instagram, but Dave was able to get her to delete the ones with my prayer rug. She refused to remove the other ones, and honestly, the most important thing for me was protecting what my family has protected for centuries. Dave seems to be truly genuine in his regret. Also, it does help that he offered to replace all the things she violated. He also broke up with her. Oh, she has called me several times, blocked her now, and she even did Insta Live on why I am a massive bitch. Lingerie: I threw away all my underwear, brasiers, bodysuits, lingerie, even my bathing suits, bikinis. Update on this: I decided to retrieve things from the garbage and wash and sell the items on Depop Etsy, since my collection is worth a couple thousand.